Hello and welcome to another video. Today I would like to show you all the different ways in which you can access cells, or at least the ones that I do know and that are most important. This is a VBA beginner's tutorial, so if you know stuff like this already, feel free to skip the video. If not, however, and you want to stay, then let's jump right into it. As always, when we want to use VBA, we need to have the developer tab right here. And at least on Mac, you get it by going to Excel, Preferences, Ribbon and Toolbar, and then you check the developer box right here. When you've done that, you should be able to access the Visual Basics tab here, and then a new window should pop up. In this, we would like to insert a module. And now we are ready to deploy some code. So let's call it sub accessing cells. This is the shell in which we need to write the code. So in between sub and end sub. And yeah, we can start right away. So let's start. By the way, with this little sign here, you can comment things like the hashtag sign in Python, for example. So this code will only be shown as a comment, but will not have any effect on the code whatsoever. So let's type accessing a cell. And there are basically two ways in which you can access a cell. You can access a cell by the sort of Excel navigation system, and I'll show you in a second what that means, or you can call it by a range. But let's do both of the ways and start with the navigation system. So this is basically cells, and then you can assign a value to the number of rows and the number of columns that you want to take. So in this case we have 1, 1, which means column 1, row 1, which should be a1, dot value, and then we can assign a value, for example 1. Let's run the code, and we can see we do have a value in this cell. We can, however, also access the exact same cell in a different way. This is the range way, and here you access the specific name of the cell. So for example A2, which should be the cell right below A1, and let's give it a string to see if it works as well, and as you can see it does. So you can access the cells by the number of rows and columns, or by the name of the range itself. Next up, we can call a range of multiple cells. So let's call that accessing range of cells, and we do that by calling range again, but in this case we take A1, for example, and B5 dot value, and then let's say multiple. Run that again, and as you can see, now we have selected multiple cells at once. Next up, we can also access multiple single cells. So let's say accessing multiple single cells, and we do that by calling range, and then let's start with C. So C1, comma, D2, comma, E3. The value, and now multiple single cells. Run that again. Whoops. And a minor mistake. Let's run it now, and as we can see, it does work as well. Next up, maybe you don't just want to access different cells, but a whole lot of cells, i.e. maybe a whole column or a whole row. And this is also possible, of course. Accessing let's start with column first. And in this case, we call range. And then let's take f to f, dot value equals column. Run that again. And as we can see, now we have accessed the whole column. Same goes, whoop, now my computer is kind of slow. Same goes for the row. Accessing row. Range, however, in this case, we don't specify, sort of a letter, but rather a number. So if we want to take the, well, let's take the 6th row. So because we don't have anything in it yet, just 6 to 6 dot value equals row. Run that again. And again, you see my computer's kind of slow. I have to wait a quick second. Filling cells. Well, this can take a while. Hello? Are you still working? Yes. All right. As you can see, this worked finally as well. In this case, however, it might be interesting to delete some of the cells again. This is also possible. Clear cells. And range. Let's clear the range from A1 to Z30. And then just clear. We can run this as well, and maybe to not overstretch the computer too much, delete the rest, run this, and we have cleared the cells. And last but not least, I would like to show you how to copy and paste or cut and paste. So we can delete that again. Copy and paste. And what you can do is, for example, select the sheet. We are in the first sheet, and then select the range. In this case, let's take A1. Let's dot value equals XX, or just that, just writing something in the cell to be able to copy it. Copy, and then destination in the same row, and double point equal, and we would like to copy that in sheets range, let's say B2. This should be it. Yes, and you can see it worked. And the same goes for cut as well. So if you want to cut it, you can just, instead of copy, just type cut. And now you can see we have cut the value instead of copying it. These are the most important ways on how to access cells, rows, and columns. If this has helped you, please consider liking us, subscribing, and in any case, have a great week. Bye bye.